Hi, and welcome to another narration, presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Let's just take a moment's silence for all the haters. That's enough. Be sure to check out the blooper reel at the end of the video, which is then followed by the end screen where you will find more videos listed. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. Sliver, parts 3 to 4. This awesome series is written by Reddit author TopMindOfR3ddit. Part 3. My throat squeezed, no doubt to keep my heart from jumping out of it. You think she's down there? Maybe. I don't know. Jim's voice becoming panicked. There's no way she made it down here all by herself. Some fucking psychopath had to have dragged her down here and tossed her down the chute. Fuck. It was becoming harder for us to keep my voice down. What do we do? Report it, Jim said, his eyes darting wildly around to the man-made cavern. They'll know we were down here trespassing then. I mean, that necklace could have belonged to anyone. It's not like we found her body. I just stood there eyeing the chute. Oh, no, he said, shaking his head. I'm not going down there, knowing there's a pretty good chance I'm going to find a little girl's body. We could give her family closure. Jim shifted his weight to one foot and put his hand on his hip, still holding the necklace. He looked down at the photo in his other hand and let out a big sigh. Fuck. Stepping up onto the old crate, I peered into the chute. The darkness quickly consumed the light from both my handheld flashlight and headlamp, as if it were a black hole. The longer I looked, the more it felt like it was sucking me in. The darkness seemed to creep up the sides of the chute. It let me know that it wasn't going to let me escape it if it got a hold of me. Shaken, I stepped back down. There's no air moving through here, I said, taking more than a few steps back from the chute. That means there's probably not a way out down there. What if we tied a rope around the mouth of the chute so we can climb back out? I nodded. That was the only way I'd agree to do this after staring down its throat. After securing the rope, we looked at each other as if to say, after you. But after seeing Jim's paling face, I decided that I would go first. I strapped myself in, took my backpack off for Jim to slide down after me, and I raised my legs into the chute. They disappeared into the black. I'll be right in after you, Jim said. His face hadn't regained any colour and now started to look like he even aged in the short time that I took to strap myself in. I let my body slide down a few more feet as I felt the walls of the chute wrap around me. My shoulders barely made it inside, and there was no room to lower my head to look down to where I was going. This is fucking insane, I thought. But I also asked myself, what were we so afraid of? We had done this more than a few times. This wouldn't even be the first chute we had slid down. I suppose seeing a dead body wasn't exactly something that either of us were eager to do. But I couldn't just leave her down here with her parents left forever wondering what happened. Plus, with a body, they can do forensics and maybe even catch the guy that did this. Still though, my body was paralysed with fear. If not for the slope of the chute, I would have been unable to move. It was irrational. There was no logic behind it. I've been in some sketchy mines. I've dropped my only flashlight hundreds of feet into pitch black, and I've narrowly avoided a cave-in. But nothing compares to what has a cold grip on the nape of my neck right at that moment. My breathing became shaky and my heart pounded so hard that it was thumping on the walls of the chute. I slid deeper and deeper. I felt that it was never going to end. Although the temperature was a constant 54 degrees Fahrenheit, I was sweating profusely. I may have even begun to cry a bit. I had been sliding down for so long that I just wanted it to fucking end. Let me fall out onto a dead little girl, I don't care, just make it fucking stop. And then, it did. Part 4. Although it was the goal to reach the bottom and search for anything that may either confirm our suspicions or refute them as overactive imagination, I found myself unwilling to examine my surroundings for fear of what the oppressive dark had been hiding down here, to finally be illuminated by a single weak headlamp. I opened my eyes. There was nothing here. There was no little body, no pile of corpses, no blood, bones or gore. Well, that's it then, I thought. I'll just climb up so we can go home. But was it not our intention to come down here anyway? Wasn't it the plan to find a chute to continue our exploration into the very deepest parts of this mine? It wasn't until that necklace that this mine seemed to change. As if that necklace had awakened the mine, or more accurately, awakened the darkness. All around me, the darkness seemed to be sentient. Fingers of the black void reaching in from the edges of my headlamp beam. Closing in, getting darker. My headlamp battery was running out. I turned back to the chute to yell for Jim to slide my backpack down. It had extra batteries and my handheld flashlight. I peered into the chute and yelled, but nothing. I waited to see if I could catch a glimpse of a tiny pinpoint of light to indicate that Jim was looking down at me. But there was nothing. Just black. I called out again. And again. No response. At some point, I felt as though I weren't calling Jim anymore, but rather asking the dark, pleading with it, begging. Just when I thought the blood in my body would surely begin to dry up, I heard something coming down the chute. The sound of nylon rubbing against smooth wood increased in pitch as it gained speed through the long tunnel before flying into my open arms. I opened the backpack to find that it only contained a Polaroid camera and some extra climbing clips, among a few other things. This was Jim's pack. Mine had extra batteries and Jim's had the rope, which was being used as my safety line back. Another sliding noise. The rope began gathering at my feet. That was it. There's no way back up the chute. It was far too narrow and steep to climb. It was going to be difficult even with the rope, but now using the chute was impossible. I yelled again for Jim. Screamed. I screamed for Jim. Nothing. What was happening? Had Jim planned this all along? Had he planned on getting me somewhere I couldn't escape and leave me to die? All that bullshit about the necklace? I ate it up and then all too willingly allowed myself to go first. What was his motivation? Why would he do this? If I ever make it out of this place, I'm going to fucking strangle him and toss him down the chute. See how he likes it, the fucking asshole. No, I had lost myself in that moment. For that moment, I had forgotten who Jim even was, other than a target for my anger. Anger being a byproduct of the immense fear that I now find creeping in on me in all directions. Something must have happened to Jim. Never in a million years would he purposely do something like this to me. Would he? And I hope you all enjoy the following blooper reel. He looked down at the photo in his other hand and let out a big fat. He looked down at the photo in his other hand and let out a big sigh. The darkness quickly consumed the light from both my handheld flashlight and headlamp. If not for the slope of the chute, I would have been unable to move. Let me fall out onto a dead little girl. I don't care. Just make it fucking stop. It had extra batteries and my handheld flashlight. The sound of nylon rubbing against smooth wood The sound of nylon rubbing against smooth wood increased in pitch as it gained speed through the long tunnel before flying into my open arms. Had Jim planned this all along? For that moment, I had forgotten who Jim even was, other than a target for my anger. Hey family, please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the arse of the subscription button as well. And remember to chokehold that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. And by subscribing, you'll be the first to see all of our new spooky creepypasta stories. A very big thank you to TopMindOfR3ddit for allowing me to narrate this awesome series. Make sure to check out TopMindOfR3ddit's Reddit for more brilliant stories. Also, be sure to check out the TopMindOfR3ddit playlist here for more of their stories that I have already narrated. I would just like to say a very big thank you to all of the authors that I have worked with and all the ones that I will work with in the future. So thank you all, my brothers and sisters. And why not hashtag cryptidsroost in your comments. If you would like to support the channel, I have an account at buymeacoffee.com. You can send your coffee donations, big or small, to that site, link is below, or via paypal.me/cryptidsroost. And don't forget to check out the end screen, see above, that will also list some more videos in my back catalogue. Take care everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful and peaceful night. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.